Hello everybody, I'm Peter Devaney from Creative Leap, and myself and Emma have been working on some options to allow you to book classroom sessions for your staff using My Learning. So the purpose of this session is to walk you through a number of new screens and processes that we believe will help you to facilitate training for your staff, in particular in this area, and to gather your feedback. I'm not making any assumptions about your prior knowledge of this, so you may have different you have different perceptions of this session. I'm going to talk through the specific purpose and the way, the help that we want from you in just a moment. But before I do that, just a little bit of background before I sort of state the purpose of the session overall, just a little bit of how we got here. And Emma, I am going to rework this slide a bit. My Learning is a couple of years old now, and it's based on Total LMS, and you've got quite a bit of training up there, so things like the induction and the boot camp and the compliance training, and it does a good job of hosting and delivering that electronic content to you and your staff. However, there is a bit of a disconnect in the blend. We are looking to integrate a smooth integration between the classroom sessions where your staff come in here to TSB Centre, or even sessions in branches or service centres, and the other training assets like the e-learning and the workshop sessions and the documentation and so forth. So there's a lot more that My Learning can do to support this particular aspect of the training. The other fact to note, and it won't be of huge relevance, it won't make a great deal of difference to what we're saying here, is that we are about to upgrade to version 9 of Total LMS, and that brings with it a number of new features, and this process is also designed to make sure that you get the best out of the product as users and administrators and managers. So what myself and Emma have been doing up to now is, for the last few months, is working on some processes, screens and assets that will help you to book your staff and manage your staff through the face-to-face or the classroom sessions in My Learning. Okay, so with that said, what use are we going to make of this time here? Well, I've said presentation. This is really more of a workshop or a guided feedback session. I'm not sure specifically what it sits somewhere between that. It's not a training session, so there's no need, as you walk away, there's no need to, to sort of retain or practice any of this. But the overall process is to develop a specific process for booking or allowing you to book and control your staff attendance at the face-to-face or classroom components of the training. So courses like induction or boot camp, for instance, will involve a day or two, couple of days or more here at the support at TSB Centre, and perhaps follow-ups in the workplace. So it's those face-to-face sessions that we're looking at here. And it's pretty important that some of the goals that we've got for this are to let you and your staff own and develop your training. So it's got to align well with the work that you're doing in the branches. Make sure that it helps rather than hinders you. So in other words, make sure that it's easy to use and it actually meets your requirements in terms of information and getting people on training and so forth. Pretty much covers those last two bullet points there. So what we want to do in this session, and because your user feedback, what we've aimed to do is get this to a point where we're ready to show it to you. So there's no fait accompli here, nothing is set in concrete, but given Emma's experience of these things and the fact that you are, in fact that you obviously don't have you are obviously pushed for time. We want to make sure that we feel that the best use of the time is to get it to a certain point and then to ask you. So how are we going to do it? What I'm going to do in a moment is just look at this process. I've talked very vaguely about classroom sessions and so forth. I haven't really said what we're doing, but I'm going to just set the big picture first of all and show how this breaks down into a number of scenarios. So scenarios are things like your learners booking or requesting a booking on courses, you approving those bookings, and making sure that all of the arrangements for travel and accommodation, if that's required, are catered for. So in order to do that, as we approach each one, I'll talk in general about the stuff that we need to do. I want in each case just have a discussion about the sorts of requirements that you have and the constraints that you need to work in, what's important to you, what do you want, what do you need, how does it fit within what you're doing at the moment, because clearly you know, your staff have other work to do, and we want to make sure that you make the best decisions possible about their time and their requirements for training. What we'll then do is, in each case, we'll walk through the process and the screens and just show you what we think you will see on the screen. We have to be a little bit approximating here because we don't have it all set up, but that's there should be enough there for you to get a grip on and give feedback on. And we want to gather your feedback. So I sort of mentioned that this isn't a fait accompli. What I would suggest is that you are as demanding as possible. So if something isn't going to work or you think it's not going to work, say so. We will try to find a better way of approaching that. We can't always meet all requirements. So the best way to approach it is for you to be demanding and for us to push back, if I can put it that way. Okay, so that's really what we want. We want you to help us to build this process, and we want this process to work for you in the ways that I've mentioned up above. So let's then look in a bit more detail about what we're actually talking about. And I've sort of drawn a picture here, and a picture with a number of characters in it, and you'll see all the different sort of roles there. I've got this loose one, this trainer sitting here. And what we're trying to represent here is all of the stuff that you need to do, that various people need to do with the system, and also the interactions between them, who is involved in each process. And we're going to talk through each one individually. So for instance, we can see that a manager may want to book a staff member on the session. They may want to approve a booking. When we come to approving bookings and booking staff members, then the training coordinator gets involved as well. That's really what these arrows are saying. And these are the little stories or scenarios that we're going to follow through in just a moment. So this picture basically is there to show you who's involved. So there's you, the staff managers and the training coordinators. We have the trainers, which is the guys here in L&D. We've got the managers as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is weave a little story with these characters and these scenarios and see how that fits. Okay, so let's pick the first one. Now, what I'm going to do in each of these cases is just stimulate, first of all, some discussions about your requirements here. What do you want when we request the attendance, you know, staff members requesting attendance at a session, how do we get them onto that? So I've got a couple of headings here, preconditions and the triggers. So we've made a number of assumptions here. Maybe they're incorrect. Does the staff member know the event that they wish to book? The staff has an idea of their own availability, or the manager has verbally agreed that the staff member can attend the event, or the staff member is already involved in the course and sorry, the staff I need to scrap that, Emma. Now, yeah, I think we may need to talk this one through again. Managers instructed the staff member. So I want to talk through these assumptions that we've made here. Okay, now that we understand a little bit about the state of mind, if you like, both of the person who's done this and the person who's involved, let's go and see what this would actually look like from a staff member's point of view. So I'm logged on as a user here called Alan53, and what we are proposing is that basically they will have, let's just land there. So this is their landing page, if you like. Now, if they wish to book on a face-to-face session, they will simply go to the classroom session dashboard. Again, Emma will probably think of some slightly more structured and elegant names to this. And this is what they will see. They will see a list of events with the dates of those events, the course of those events. They both happen to be the same ones, same courses here, but that would be a list of all of the events across all of them, boot camp, induction, and so forth. And they would have an option there to sign up. So I guess the first question here is, just looking at this screen, is this something you are comfortable with your staff seeing? Do you think that they will have be in the right headspace, if I can put it that way, to make these choices? Bearing in mind that what they're doing is requesting a booking, you will need to approve it. So at this point we would invite some discussion. Okay, so let's imagine the staff member has signed up. They will then click on there. I can't click through because this is a dummy screen, and what they will see is a screen, a sign-up screen like this. So what we will tell them here is, first of all, the event name, the time, the duration, and so forth. And if they have any specific requests, they can put them in here, and when they do that, they will then click the sign up button, and they will get an email. A couple of things will happen. They will get an email that that shows them the that confirms that booking for them. Sorry, confirms the request, I should say. It won't actually make the booking until the manager approves it. And right, okay, so we sign up there, we get the email, that's fine. Okay, right, so at this point we discuss it. Let's just hop back into the presentation. So what happens next is that the manager, and that's basically you, will see that booking. They will get to approve the booking, and I guess the assumptions we've made here is that obviously the staff member's made a booking request, that you as a manager know when that staff member's available, and you know roughly when you can let them go. That I guess I'm not mentioned here, but you also receive that you also know what training you want them to do, and that you're comfortable that you have all that information. So I guess those are the assumptions that we are making here. Right. So what would a manager see? Well, let's just duck into the manager screen. So I'm logged on here as a manager. And again, the manager will get this, this page here. And if we go into the face-to-face dashboard, we'll see that as a manager you see something broadly similar, but with a couple of differences. The first is that you will see that you have a couple of options here, an additional option here. You can sign yourself up, or you can sign up a team member. So if you are sending someone on a program, we'll look at that in just a moment, then you would sign the team member up there. The other thing is you will have an alert box here. When the staff member requests that, you will get an email, the email that we will look at in just a moment, and you'll get an alert in here to say that your staff member has signed up to an event. And again, remember, I'll populate that alerts box when we come to it. So when you are approving this course, you will go in and you will click on the alert, and it will take you through to the approval screen, which I will bring up. Oops. There we go. So let's just pause there for a moment.